The most significant actions involving President John Quincy Adams and the faction of the Democratic Republican Party supporting him in 1827 centered on the intensifying push for a high protective tariff and the complete fracturing of the national political party. The negative consequences of these actions were profound, increasing sectional animosity and crippling Adams' presidency. The key action was the political maneuvering that led to the drafting of what would become the Tariff of 1828. Adams and his Secretary of State, Henry Clay, were proponents of the American system, which advocated for using federal power to fund internal improvements and protect American industries through high tariffs. The opposition, led by Andrew Jackson's faction, attempted to create a tariff bill with outrageously high duties on raw materials, intending for the bill to be so unpopular in the North that it would fail. However, enough Northern and Western interests supported the protectionist aspects that the bill passed. The negative consequence was the immediate and intense crisis of sectionalism. Southerners, who had little manufacturing and relied heavily on cotton exports and imported manufactured goods, were forced to pay significantly higher prices. They denounced the measure as the Tariff of Abominations, believing it unconstitutionally favored the North at the expense of the South. This crystallized Southern hostility toward the federal government, with Adams and his supporters bearing the blame. Furthermore, 1827 saw the formal split of the Democratic-Republican Party accelerate into two distinct political entities, the National Republicans, Adams's supporters, and the Democratic Party, Jackson's supporters. The negative consequence was crippling political gridlock for the Adams administration. Having been elected in the controversial 1824 corrupt bargain, Adams lacked the popular mandate and congressional support to pass his ambitious domestic agenda. The Jacksonian opposition actively worked to obstruct all his initiatives, ensuring that Adams would be largely ineffective as president. This bitter political warfare also set the stage for one of the most vicious presidential campaigns in history during the 1828 election, where Adams's party was soundly defeated. The Tariff of Abominations and the partisan split ultimately deepened the rift between the agrarian South and the industrializing North, dangerously fueling the concept of nullification and setting a precedent for future threats to national unity.